After the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll have a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, welcome to tonight's meeting. Okay, are there any public comments on agenda items this evening? Okay, we have correspondence to the board. Valdosta Board of Education, thank you for sending the beautiful plant for my father's memorial service. I feel blessed by your kindness and thoughtfulness during this difficult time. Diane Munley and the Bauer family. Dear Board of Education, thank you so much for the beautiful flower arrangement. Baby Elena, I hope I pronounced that right, is a healthy little girl, and I feel truly blessed to work in a district that supports families and its staff. Thanks again for thinking of us. Sincerely, Tina Kent.
To Valdosta School District, thank you for the beautiful flowers in your thoughts and prayers during this time of sorrow. Your kindness meant so much to the Davis family.
Okay, it's time for recognitions.
All right, well, welcome everybody. We have some phenomenal Panthers that are here tonight for us to be able to recognize, and then our partners in education actually correspond directly with our phenomenal Panthers. So we will kind of bring them all up together and let them come up so we get pictures of them all together. Our phenomenal Panthers are our students that on July 7th through the 12th actually got to attend Space Camp. So very jealous of the fact that they had to do that and to go out there and to work with our astronauts and to see the great things that are out there. So, and then our partners in education are actually our sponsors that we went through. So Mr. Lavender is back there as a sponsor as well. And then Northrop Grumman is our partner that partners with us each and every year for us to be able to send our students to Space Camp. They take on the responsibility of paying for that to give our students this great opportunity. So our partners in education, first off, are Mr. Lavender, and Mr. Sam Parrott, who is here representing Northrop Grumman. And then our phenomenal Panther Awards are going to Drew Funderburg, who is here tonight, and also attending was Adrian Granada. So let's give them all a huge round of Very good. Thank you. guys step right up here, kind of put the And we're not done because we have the privilege and honor of having our Air Force JROTC triad here tonight. And actually, our Air Force JROTC won 3 awards last year. So I wanted to bring them in and recognize them. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to have you guys here tonight and the great things that you guys are doing each and every day, and the amazing things that you were able to accomplish last year as a Corps is great. We actually reach out to our surrounding areas, and we have about 100 students that come in from Warrensburg and Lamont that join in to make that the triad. And so it truly is a great opportunity for us to be able to partner with some cities around us and to have students to come in and to make our program as successful as it can be. So our first award tonight is actually the Air Force Junior ROTC and Air Force Association Cadet Leadership Award. And this award recognizes the cadet who exemplifies the ideals of what a cadet should be. The Air Force Junior ROTC instructors submit nominations of third-year cadets who were juniors during the academic year. Nominations were then evaluated to award state winners who then compete within the regions. And then within the regions, the region winners then were evaluated in order to produce an overall winner and runner-up. Region 8 Cadet Major Zoe Duncan, Valdosta High School, Valdosta, Missouri, was one of those. So let's get ready to go. All right.
A little more background on that survey. So there's roughly about 120,000 cadets that are in JROTC. And out of the 8 regions, she was one of the 8 that was selected and was the second runner-up out of the 8.
Got enough ribbons. We've issued her another cadet just to carry the extra ribbons. And that's proud mama over there. Yes, they are.
Yeah, why don't we have the board stay up? We have 2 other awards, but we'll do an individual photo and then group photo. You guys want to fall in place. Step forward.
Our second award for our Air Force Junior ROTC program is through our Flight Academy recognition. And cadets Dawson Nakanexi and Kevin Clark from Warrensburg High School, and members of the Triad Air Force JROTC program at Valdosta High School, were selected for the Chief of Staff of the Air Force Flight Academy Scholarship Program. The program selected 150 Air Force Junior ROTC cadets to attend an accredited 8-week aviation program at one of 11 partnering universities to get their private pilot's license. Cadet Nakanexi attended Embry-Riddle University in Prescott, Arizona, and Cadet Clark attended Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. Both have successfully completed and earned their private pilot's license and certificate license. So I have to say, guys, that I am extremely jealous that you just learned to drive a car and now you're flying in the air as well. So let's give them a huge round of applause. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is about a $20,000 scholarship that these guys basically took advantage of. So truly an honor, and you guys have represented your triad Air Force, your ROTC very well. So congratulations.
We're gonna do individual photos, and then we'll do a group photo. That works for you guys?
And if you ask them, they would probably show you their licenses, because I'm sure they've taped them to their chests.
It was an eight-week course
Yes.
in Prescott. A lot of fun.
Typical is probably about $6,500 to $7,000 for one of us to go someplace to get a license. They got theirs with room and board at the college at the same time. That's why it's worth about $20,000.
Sir, congratulations. First time to be there.
Everything that,
To include all the other stuff, their flight to the school, everything that they have to qualify.
Yeah, let's
Probably,
do single.
yeah, thousand five hundred back to get the call. AKA Big Red.
Right?
All three of you guys can say. You guys want to jump in the picture with us?
Randy, sounds good.
Okay.
Everybody said, I'm not done. Stay, Dawson.
These guys are so amazing, we're gonna wear them out just by standing. Our last award goes to the entire unit. And our Air Force Junior ROTC got the Distinguished Unit Award. And they were Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, Unit Missouri, 252 at Mount Nostra, has been selected as one of 376 units to receive the 2018-2019 Air Force JROTC that have performed well above and beyond normal expectations and that have distinguished themselves through outstanding service to their school and community while meeting the Air Force JROTC Citizen Development Mission for America. And our group got that. So congratulations, guys.
Here you go, guys. Very proud of you. Well done.
And our last awards,
Well, and again, thank you guys for doing such an amazing job with the kids that come into JROTC. It shows the dedication and everything that y'all got going on. It's awesome.
Thank you all.
Next up is principal and director's report. There's more. I was kidding.
Good evening, school board members and superintendent. Thank you for allowing us to come here tonight to talk to you about our report. As you know, we made about 3 schools and we currently have 133 kids in our. I am cadet Colonel Joe Johnson, and I have been with for 4 years and I'm here at Westwood High School. This is my cadet leadership, myself, my deputy group community cadet Colonel Dr. Nesby, who will be talking to you, as well as my senior enlisted sergeant cadet, senior master sergeant, Kevin Clark. I have my executive officer, my inspector general, and my 2 squadron commanders. So first we're going to talk about our goals. This is our set impact goals. Our goals consist of each cadet maintaining a minimum of 85% grade and AFJ at the end of each semester. Each cadet will attend at least 2 events, service and non-service, per semester, at least one service event that does not take place in the town of their home school. Maintain a group-wide 95% uniform wear and 95% average inspection grade. All cadets improve initial physical fitness scores by a minimum of 10% in each of the school years. Is our school impact goals. Hold a minimum of 2 honor guard events per quarter at each school. Provide volunteers for at least 1 school sponsored event per school throughout the year and hold at least 2 awareness presentation events per semester at each school district.
Hello, my name is Cadet Senior Master Sergeant Clark. I am the Senior Enlisted Advisor for our Triad Air Force JROTC. So I'd like to talk to you about the community impact goals. We would like to have at least 15 hours service hours for each cadet per semester and 25 average over the year. Now that would be 3,325 hours by the end of the year. And we'd also like to participate in events with the Missouri Veterans Home and involve our veterans at least once a year. I'm Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Dawson Akinezny, and I'd like to take you through a little bit of what we did last year in the statistics. So last year we performed 2,499 community service hours between the 3 communities of Warrensburg, Valdosta, and Lamont. And also, along with that, we put in 2,423 leadership development hours, which were the cadets working on planning these events and making sure everything came together for them. And also 102 events were completed throughout the school year. So that's everything from our community service events to the competitions we compete in through our special teams and stuff like that. We donated 3,300 items back to the local food pantries and split that up between the 3 communities we represent, as well as gave back $1,500 to split that between the 3 food pantries as well. And we had our event for the Baton Death March, in which we raised $2,000, all going to Operation Homefront, give back to our local communities through that way.
Okay, next we're going to briefly touch on our extracurriculars that we offer in our club. First, we have our honor guard. We do service events in all 3 of our hometowns, all 3 of our schools, and last year we were even requested to by the Windsor High School for the Veterans Day Assembly. We've done 3 honor guards at the Royal Stadium, and this year we are performing 2 honor guards at night. Here we have our competitive drill team. This applies discipline precision from our cadets. Last year we received 19 trophies out of the 6 competitions that we participated in. This is our Raider team. This is our full physical fitness team. We thank you for your support last year and helping us go to Georgia for our Greater Nationals, where we placed 11th out of 2015. And we look forward to support this upcoming year as we travel there again for Greater Nationals, where we hope to get in the top 5. We're on track for that, as the last 2 competitions that we've done this year, we've placed 2nd out of all 10. So our next extracurriculars are more STEM-based, that correlate with our curriculum. This is rocketry. Every first year cadet has the opportunity to build their own rocket, launch and retrieve it. And we also have an extracurricular where cadets have the opportunity to build bigger rockets, where last year we even built a rocket that had over 1,000 feet.
And continuing on with our STEM-based extracurriculars here, the district actually provided us with 8 desktop flight simulators and 1 dedicated flight simulator system you can see here that is very, very similar to a Cessna 172. And through our flight simulator program, not only are we allowed to integrate that into our curriculum, we can also prepare students for taking the test that they'll use to win the flight scholarship like Cadet Clark and I won. And we also have a program called Cyber Patriot. And this is like anti-hackers, really. It's computer-based training and events in which the cadets learn to secure them and get ready for future jobs in cybersecurity. Also, we have our marksmanship, which is taught in class as part of the curriculum, and also as a competitive team in which our cadets use pellet guns to go around to different competitions and really just see who can shoot better. And this is our flight academy, which Cadet Clark and I attended. I went to Prescott, Arizona, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and these are some pictures from my time here. And I went to West Lafayette, Indiana, which is where Purdue is, hopefully my next college. All right, so I believe probably the most important thing about Air Force JROTC is the uniform. Right now I'm wearing the service dress, but we also have the ABUs and the short sleeve blues. These uniforms show a lot of pride. They look all exactly like the Air Force's uniforms, and when cadets wear them, they show our 3 core values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all work. And another great thing about Air Force ROTC is our community service. This year, we plan on breaking 3,000 cans and breaking our $1,500 donation to the local food bank.
At this time, we're going to what you have.
So y'all could have got 1 more hour. I know everybody's just sitting there like, what could we have done? That's awesome.
One more to go.
Yeah.
I'd just like to again say thank you and congratulations for all that you guys are doing. We're very proud of what you're doing in this program, but also as leaders in your schools, setting a great example, which is very important. So keep up the great work, and we will watch closely to see where you and your colleagues head next. And also want to say thank you to our leadership. Leadership matters. It's made a tremendous positive impact in this program, and just can't thank you guys enough for all the hours and hours and hours of extra time that you put in to make this a success. And it really means a lot. We're excited about where the program and partnerships will go next with a couple of key areas. But you guys are definitely knocking it out of the park, so we're very, very proud of you. That said, I didn't hear anything about this event in the 810 here, where you guys had the punch bowl. Oh, that kind of highlight. Please.
Would you like to elaborate on
I'm
that?
sure some of that was pretty painful.
Yeah, I did have to drink out of the draw there for our combat dining in event. It was like a punch bowl, but it was filled with some very nasty ingredients that I had to partake in there.
Okay, so it's a punch. So what are some of the non-liquid items that found its way into the bowl?
Cheerios, noodles, That's a food, just anything you wouldn't want to, drink.
So we can't think about the partnership that we had with 442nd Fire Wing. They were outstanding in helping us secure and use their hangar. They actually had actual maintenance going on while we were holding our event. So they were actually working in there on 810. And had an 810 on static display where our kids can go up and take pictures and stuff. But they were great partners in that with us and allowed us to help out in the 442nd recruiting individuals, help us out with some of the food and stuff like that to help cover the costs to keep it low for our cadets. But so one thing I know that they don't like to elaborate on, right, is that when you look at that 2,400 plus hours of leadership, that's all the time that they do outside of school. And that's outside of the day-to-day classes that they take. This is all the time that they put in to plan all these things. One of the big things we do stress and they know cadet run, cadet let. They do it. I mean, we're there to help guide them, mentor them, provide them the things that they need, the resources, and thank you to you all for what you provide the resources for them, right? And with that, they're able to accomplish these types of things that are truly real world skill sets that they need. Right? They'll be better prepared whenever they move on to whatever they do because they're able to do that. Right? And so they plan it all. They had to plan all that stuff. They figured out the game. They developed stuff. They developed the script. They had to run it. Colonel and I were like transportation. That's part of the program. And make sure that nobody ran or shot a nerve gun into the actual agency maintenance that was there. All right, that was our goal. That's to make sure that no nerve target was lost while they were performing meetings. Wouldn't have been good, right? Probably wouldn't be invited back. But it didn't happen. So that's just part of what they do. But yes, it was a great opportunity for them to come out. And when we talk about it was strictly cadets only. So it wasn't open to parents, it wasn't open to stuff. So it was just them going out and doing their part. So we appreciate, we got a great partnership with the base. They help out with us. We held our military ball with the NCO club. First year that we did that. So there's a lot of great support and help in that. So we appreciate it. And support we receive from not only you all as the school board and the superintendent, but Ms. Morris and what we received at the high school is outstanding. So we couldn't do it without that. So we appreciate it. I'll stop now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next are the principal and directors reports. Any questions on that? Next up is MSBA report.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's board report for the month of September. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the report issued by the Governor's School Safety Task Force. That task force was established in March and held a series of public outreach sessions around the state during the past few months. It received additional input from surveys, website comments, and student input sessions. It also relied on resources available through MSBA's Center for Education Safety. The group issued its final report on July 31st. The task force concluded that schools are overwhelmingly safe places for children to learn and grow, but also identified some areas where safety can be improved for students and school staff. MSBA Executive Director Melissa Randall was a member of the task force, and she says communication is a strong theme in the report.
We are looking at ways that we can improve communication between agencies, whether it's state to local or within our communities, how we can do a better job of communicating information that would ensure our children's safety. And so we have some recommendations in the report about best practices on how to get information distributed and who needs to be, who needs to be receiving that information and how you process it.
Randall says one thing the report does not recommend is arming teachers.
What it does say is that it's communities, want access to school resource officers or school protection officers. We need to do a better job in giving them access to that. It needs to be a school and community decision, but we do think it's the best practice to have access to a trained, highly skilled school resource officer or school protection officer. Our preference would be school resource officer, but obviously some communities don't have the resources to provide that. So a highly trained school protection officer would be an alternative to that, but we do not think it is best practice to go beyond school resource officer, school protection officer in terms of armed individuals in our buildings.
The report says there is not a one-size-fits-all approach to making schools as safe as possible. It says the best solutions to address school safety are at the local, community, and individual school level. Full task force report is posted on the MSBA website. Speaking of school safety, there's a new 24-hour, 7-day-a-week school safety tip line available to report potential school safety threats. It's called Courage to Report and is operated by the Missouri Information Analysis Center within the State Highway Patrol. The goal is to help school officials and law enforcement learn about potential school threats as soon as possible so they can determine how to appropriately handle the report. The toll-free number for Courage to Report is 866-748-7047. A number of new state laws became effective at the end of August, as is usually the case, after a legislative session adjourned in May. This year was no exception. That means MSBA's policy department has been busy analyzing those laws to determine if school district policy changes are needed. MSBA Associate Executive Director Kelly Hopkins oversees MSBA's policy department, and she says it's critical that school district policies keep current with state law, government regulations, and court decisions. But at the same time, she says, school boards have flexibility on many policy issues and often can determine what policies best meet the needs of their schools and community.
Districts have local control over their policies, and so it needs to reflect what the district is actually doing or what they believe is correct. For whatever reason, it's their policy. We want to keep them from doing anything that isn't consistent with law, and so we will push back against changes that are made that are not consistent with law. But unless they're not consistent with law, if district wants language, we put it in there, and then we maintain it, so it doesn't go away the next time policy update is published.
Hopkins says it's important in some cases that school district policies include references to state law.
Occasionally, a district will say, the policies are so detailed, and sometimes I would agree with that, but if we didn't include that detail, it might mean that the district's spending a lot of time on the phone with an attorney and trying to understand the law that we were explaining in the policy. Now, if it's our attorney, that's fine, because that's not going to cost them anything. But if it's their district attorney, that could get expensive. So sometimes we do go a little bit over in the explanation of how to implement a particular law.
All MSBA member districts receive regular policy updates as part of membership. Some 240 school districts participate in MSBA's full maintenance policy service that allows MSBA to update and customize policies for school districts. MSBA's policy department is working on some updates and revisions to the service that will be announced in the coming months. The 2019 MSBA Annual Conference will be held at the end of this month at the Lake of the Ozarks. Once again this year, we have some outstanding general session speakers, along with some 130 concurrent sessions on a wide range of topics designed to help board members and administrators improve their leadership skills. We hope to see you there. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
Next up is Dr. Wheeler's report.
All right, well, good evening again, and I'd like to extend another welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Digby. Go help me out.
Anthony's good.
All right, that's what I know you by. How do you say your last name?
D. Gregorio.
Okay. I'll work on that one. Welcome, glad you're here, and as mentioned earlier, you definitely pulled a good straw because we have a relatively limited agenda tonight, so we'll try to get you out of here. So as of the memo that was submitted to the board, the non-Nostra Panther football team was 2-0, they're now 3-0, coming off one last Friday, so we're excited about that, and thank you, Mr. Birchie, for passing along the invite to our community last night at the city meeting. Hope to continue to fill the stands with fans to support the Panthers, and that goes for all of our sports. Of course, Friday Night Lights brings out a big crowd, but we're certainly proud of all our student athletes and what they're accomplishing. The year is tracking along without any major issues. We have had a couple of pretty unique issues that have been handled administratively with just some unusual things that come along every day. So we've handled those in stride, and things have gone well. We appreciate our administrators for their poise and kind of taking the good job of every day being an adventure and making sure at the end of the day that things go smoothly. So thank you for that. Our faculty completed its first professional development day on August 30th. They have participated in a variety of activities, including initial training on active intruder response. Follow-up trainings are scheduled to occur with each of our faculty buildings in early space throughout the fall. In alignment with this training, the district is installing some new classroom door security devices on all interior rooms. We're going to a new bolt lock system for all of our interior doors, as well as a security plate that will secure the window. So in this training, we talk about being able to secure in place in the classroom and feel pretty good about the opportunity to quickly secure a room and make it very cumbersome to get into. So we're incorporating that into our training, and those are going up as time allows with Mr. Zane and his team. District administrators have begun a book study this year utilizing John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. We look forward to engaging in leadership development piece into our regular admin meetings, which tend to become bogged down a little bit with managerial issues, but we're excited to bring that leadership piece this year. Overall, the year's off to a solid start. Everything feels pretty good. I would like to thank all of our teammates for a fantastic job getting the first month of the school year in the books, and we look forward to welcoming fall in over the next month. Enrollment for the month ending non-Nostra Elementary 420 with 97.45% attendance. Non-Nostra Middle School 351, 97.04. Non-Nostra High School 420 with 97.39. Whiteman Elementary School 408 with 97.44. District total 1599 with 97.33. It looks like the highest edged out was non-Nostra Elementary, but I'm going to say congrats to all of our buildings. Anytime we're over 97%, we're certainly very happy with that. So keep up the good work, and let's see if we can get that done sometime again. Financial reports for month ending August 30th, 2019. Balances all funds, $15,865,110. Revenues today, $1,980,462, which is 2.7% anticipated. Expenditures, $1,527,014, which is 8.5% of budget. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I have one question. On that stadium test, is there anything that you're planning on doing because of that? Or?
So the test provides a prescriptive approach to remedy any issues, and the issues on the field that were determined to be light, where there was additional detail added in and some grooming that was done that addressed those issues.
So that's already been done?
Yes, sir.
Was it retested or?
No, sir.
on the fill side of it, I'm assuming the people that did the fill know what they're doing.
Yes.
I mean,
So
so it, is it big areas that need attention to be followed?
So Mr. Lang has taken care of this since the field was installed, and they basically do that assessment to advise him on any areas that may need some additional support, and then he goes in and does the infill. So it's kind of a prescriptive, it identifies any area, and then the process that he's used to infill that remedies the situation. I don't know for sure if they test after that or not. I'd have to ask him. I don't think that they did. They go through identification, and then this is the way to bring that back in.
So they instruct you on how much you put in there, how much specific size area or whatever.
Correct. I think the majority of the field was in pretty good shape. There was a couple, of course, the main area in the middle where it's the most traffic, I think was where the issue was.
The people that do the test, where they, I didn't get the chance to really know where they from.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
the piece of equipment doesn't look that. I'm sure it's calibrated, circle to death. What pictures look like it is.
Yeah, there are several companies that will come and do them, and this was brought up. I think we did it on a maybe an every 2-year basis over the age of the bill. The question was brought up, we decided to go ahead and do that training test.
I guess the reason I'm asking some of these questions is I didn't know how this was done at all. And to see this information put out there gives me an idea of how the test has to do. I mean, I still don't understand all the working and how. I'm assuming they have a rubber to it or whatever the drill is.
Correct.
But anyway, for information purposes, it's good to try to get an idea how that was done.
Yep, they, I think there's some, it wasn't presented to me as being overly complicated. It was, they do their test, they advise, and then we respond with that.
And then the bill or the repair that really doesn't want an additional repair. I don't know what the test costs.
It was $1,000. We, we look at all of our fields. I know, we spent quite a bit of money, trying to, bring our complex into better condition, level surface. I know we've talked now about the practice field down adjacent to the, where we do our practices at the high school, and it's definitely an area that we want to address this fall. Have some issues out there, so that's something we'll probably be coming your way as well.
I'm guessing this stuff that they ordered, they'll probably come in 50, 100 pound bags or something. You know, like that.
No, it's smaller quantity. Would you guys like another test run?
I'm not asking for another test, and I want to try to find out how it works. I mean, I don't have any ideas.
The only thing that I would be concerned with is if somebody does get hurt and come back for this. And, if you put this out public, that, you can use it against us, then you're not, that's pretty, we should, if we have. Because to me, what that test is saying is, or the, correct me if I'm wrong, do we have enough fibers or whatever they call the grass, artificial turf, to hold enough rubber to cushion the load or the landing of each one of those? And as the field deteriorates, that gets smaller and smaller, and it won't, it just cannot sustain that. So I'll leave it up to your discretion on that. Just a question. One area that didn't really meet their guidelines, so it's probably the one area that is used the most.
I think there's an element of risk in any any sports field. I would not, I feel like there would be other areas that we could definitely focus on to improve. But I'm happy to retest the bill that, if the board would like.
Again, I'll leave it to your judgment.
And I'm going to push that back to the board, and leave it to the board on their judgment. It's $1,000. But every game is probably going to have some compaction and wear. It would be a post-incident test, and whatever the stated that area where the impact occurred would probably be what would be live. So that's going to be hard to control that.
Well, I mean, it's my opinion that if we're gonna play on our field and play another 3 games, and then an injury occurs, we very well could have tested. It would be probably not feasible to test that field every time it's played on our practice. I mean, I'm not saying, I just don't know how all this works. I went through the information, and tried to figure out, gather what information I could from. I appreciate you giving us the information on how to do this, because I had no idea how they did it. But as far as repairs, I mean, I'm sure Rich has got that figured out. But I'm not gonna ask for a retest because, it could be 3 days later before anything happens. I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna leave that up to you.
But I think the path we're going down is, we know the bill is aging, and we know that at some point we need to replace that bill. We've kind of been, we're at that point where we need to either go one more year or decide to replace it.
I think we need more time out of that and have time for that kind of money. But we certainly don't want to put anybody at risk with everything. All the testing fell within standards, and what it did has been fixed.
As I understand it from our AD and our maintenance team, we're in compliance with what is required. There's still liability, absolutely. Somebody gets injured when we get sued, probably so. But my understanding is we're in compliance with what's required. And we were actually, I think we were, prior as well, before doing that.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, I will though go back to the board, want to have, field tested again. I don't believe we got an answer for that.
I feel like with this way we've been doing it. This was done date on August 21st, so it's already been a month. Is there any documentation saying that? Or address this?
I can speculate. Mr. Lane takes pretty detailed notes on what he does.
You know, it's good writing.
I feel at this point, going out district and our school leaders, that the school district has taken the action of having a field test to identify any problems. We're moving in the right direction and spending money to make sure we're as safe as possible.
Yes, sir.
Or, like some school districts may not even do this, but at least we are.
So this one thing they talked about, they were still fighting before they did whatever they correct.
My understanding was the district was in compliance with that before the test. Did that area identify the recommendations from the GMAX test? There was one area that didn't, and that's been reviewed as a recommendation. Correct.
Is it possible that next year, when we do this same test, when they ask these folks, listen, if you're gonna do a test for $1,000, is it possible you can come back to retest after we fix it? After we do what we're prepared to do, you can tell us we need to do for another $250. So, I mean, when can we get that with some type of agreement? Or maybe reach an agreement with them to possibly come back and do a retest? And because we're using it in general. So,
I can check on that.
yeah, and there's several companies out there that do that. Maybe we can get that done and then, you know, we, next week, better, I know we can go to the meeting.
Check into that.
So my understanding is the majority of the board then is not requesting a retest.
I'm not requesting it.
Okay, then, I still need approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
All in favor? Aye.
Welcome, Ms. Walling.
Thank you.
Still up, right? Congratulations.
Need a motion to approve the approval of bills for board.
Make a motion that we approve, the bills.
All in favor? Aye. Down to old business. I need a motion to approve MSBA 2019 leave policy updates as presented.
Using policies we looked at previously. Any changes to it? I'll make a motion that we approve MSBA 2019 board policies.
All in favor? Aye. This is for information purposes only, homeschool action.
Just wanted to share this with the board as a matter of record. This is something that we've been working on for a couple of years now to further outreach to our homeschool students, specifically those students who are military connected. As I understand it, this was a big topic of discussion in the education lane for General Ray during his recent visit to Whiteman. We have a couple of upcoming meetings. I think this is year 3 that we will be doing outreach with our, specifically to our homeschool families. And with our new virtual academy now that's K-12, we're in a really good position to find a unique partnership where we can provide some virtual support to these families, provide them some technology and internet safety support, tutoring support, and help them achieve their homeschool goals in partnership with our public school district. So we're excited about where that's going and feel like there's some big opportunity there to really provide some a unique way forward and some really good tools for our students. And we will be communicating that out in a variety of ways and hopefully continue to have good turnout at the meetings.
Thank you. Next up is Whiteman Elementary parking lot pre-construction service proposal. This is for information.
Just to follow up to last meeting, there was a question about the manner in which we had procured the proposal. I looked into that further and at this point have conflicting policies. So I'm going to continue to look through that. We're in no rush to get that done. I'm still letting that out. We'll let you guys know what the final decision is on that.
That was for the testing of the.
And it was pre-construction services with the core sampling and specifications and bidding process.
And that would be the same thing there. Somebody like Knob Testing or KTI. I know that those folks are on the base continuously out there. I don't know what
I don't know the level of what they do. I mean, Larry's core engineer, he would know exactly what those people are.
So I think the question is how do we procure, did we properly procure the proposal? Which is what I'm looking at.
I guess one of my questions would KPI be able to do something like that? Or any other county doing that? I don't know.
Yes. They would have an opportunity to do that. So I'll let you guys know on that.
Okay, it is that time. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. By roll call?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you coming out. I still remember my old school papers, my name was wrong. Hey, you're still out of and you thought that hard yeah. Now that is. We did have.
I'm hitting it now, sir. Hey, how are you? I'm hitting it now. I'm in